Let's just get the division 10% speed. High armored ability is key in modern warfare. Yeah, Russia knows that. I'm gonna talk about Ukraine for a second, okay? What I think is very interesting about Ukraine is to see modern warfare. I'm always thinking about this a bit. Like today we took a walk and I thought about that. Like going away from all the political stuff and stuff. Imagine you would randomly be the leader of 100 soldiers in Ukraine right now. What would be your doctrines? It sounds a bit weird. We're obviously Hoi 4 players. We're a bit fucked. What I see in these videos is that convoys, vehicles are not really meta anymore. It's all air. The drones, right? The javelins, the value a javelin has, right? The one javelin taking out one tank is great value. It really looks like vehicles are not even that sick anymore, especially in urban warfare, like in cities, right? You just get caught all the time. You're out of fuel, right? If I had like 100 soldiers, you need to be really guerrilla, man. Just don't show yourself on open field because the satellites and the drones can see you, and always ambush everybody, man. Like, to be honest, nowadays, I will feel more safe being infantryist than a fucking tank driver now. Because in a tank, dude, if the drone is at you, boom, adios, man. Like, I think about this a lot. When they, like, last night, before I went to bed, they said that tonight, they're gonna massively attack Kiev. And I don't know if I sound weird when I say this, but I then really genuinely wonder, what does that look like? Like, I'm weirdly interested. Because at the moment of what I'm seeing, the Russians look ultra fucking disorganized in a weird way, right? That's what, at least what I'm hearing at the moment. They are surrendering, they're out of fuel, they get shit on, and I always wonder just objectively what happened, why is it that coming, what could be done differently, just thinking about the doctrines of war. I don't mean this in any way political, just really objectively the doctrines. Obviously it's a shit ton of propaganda, you never know what is real. Putin sent in the kids first. A lot of these videos, yeah, the Russian prisoners are 18, 19, 20 years old, man. The Russians don't want to fight since they're all forced to fight. I thought about that. Russia has a massive moral issue, right? Moral is so important. As a Russian soldier, right? You're like, what are you fighting for here, man? You're fighting for Putin's fucking political ambitions. You're not fighting for your country. You're not fighting for liberty or anything important. Maybe some of these Russian soldiers are really fucked in the brain. They're like, we're saving our brothers here. But they more and more see the civilian attacks and casualties. Russia's massively using Chechen conscripts, and the Russians often don't want to fight Slavic brothers. I heard that these Chechens are really getting fucked. I saw videos, you know, where they just got fucked up. I think Russia's actually winning, but we don't see that. I agree with that, yeah. I don't know that much about history, but isn't Chechnya, Georgia, Dagestan, aren't they also like their own nations that have been taken by Russia in the last century? Aren't you kind of like an Uncle Tom when you're a Chechen that fights for Russia, even though they took your country? Aren't you kind of like a bitch? Something else I thought about Ukraine is that even if Russia wins, it's going to be almost impossible to keep Ukraine on lockdown, because it looks like, once again, I'm obviously not an expert. I don't know shit. This is just me rambling. These Ukrainians will rather die than letting you take this country. The resistance is gonna be ridiculous, man. They are gonna resist like motherfuckers, man. They want to change the government, not really occupy. Zelensky has to be ultra fucking careful, man. If they kill Zelensky, that's a massive moral blow. What a leader, though, man. That Zelensky guy, man, he's getting some mad PR lately. He's looking like a boss. I don't see German politicians defending this country, man. They will be in the Cayman Islands in a second. Like, I genuinely believe life is some kind of simulation. Or, you know, South Park once showed a thing which I almost believe in, man. Aliens made our planet for entertainment. Aliens, you know, aliens are really educated and their life is boring. Everything is just super science. And they want entertainment. So they made the human race and Earth to be massively entertained. If you think like this, everything makes so much sense. The foreign minister of Ukraine is tweeting Elon Musk, and Elon is like, ah, sure, I'm in. And then the Ukraine tweeted something like, thanks, bro. How could you ever believe that 10 years ago? In a weird way, it could be. Once again, this is all hypothetical. I don't know shit. It is becoming apparent, and it's shocking a young generation all across the globe that there's still a lot of bad shit on this planet. There's people that will invade your fucking ass if you don't be careful. And just because you walk around with your pink hair and think life is la-di-la-di-da, and maybe I was even wrong there. I will always say on the stream, I think militaries are useless and stuff, and holy shit have I been wrong. Not to invade people, but as a token of deterrence. Is that the word? Yeah, deterrence? I never heard that word. You kind of actually need that shit against people like Xi Jinping and Putin. It's sad that the world is like this. It would be great if nobody needed an army and we could invest this into important stuff. It's a good thing that you can have such a safe country that stuff like this can exist, that equality of women, minorities, more than 2 genders. But stuff like this only opens up if you have a safe environment, right? When you have a safe country. But you see what happens once an evil motherfucker comes in, man. All that shit is down the drain. And Russia has issues taking down Cuban region. We're used to Russia. Trash. here taking small nations. Isn't it a bit weird how weak Russia seems right now in Ukraine? Thank you, Dangroth. So unorganized, so weak, they surrender, they do bad moves, I saw videos where the young recruits have been held prisoner and they were interviewed and they said they were lied to. The Russian government sent them into the region for exercises and all of a sudden they had to invade and they were like, what? And they said, this is a now war law and if you don't do it, you're gonna get into prison and stuff. They kind of trolled them. That's not really how you do an army, Vladimir Putin, you know? The veterans of Chechnya are arriving. They're not veterans, they're a bunch of idiots, man. Just because from Czechia and have a nice beard, don't act like they're badasses. They're a bunch of bitches, and their comrades have already been fucking nuked, man, these idiots. Fucking Chechens, what a fucking disgrace they are. Their country is taken by Russia, and now they go to an unjust war against Ukraine, man. Acting like they're fucking Muslims, acting like they're doing this for Allah, man. They're the biggest scum of the earth, man, these fucks. And their fucking leader. They have nothing to do with real Islam. Yeah, a lot of people are joining Ukraine now. There is a former naval SEAL squad that's joining. 400 volunteers from France are arriving. International volunteers going to Ukraine too. For example, today Georgia volunteers went to Ukraine. Also, did you saw that picture where that 5-kilometer long convoy of Russians is going to Kiev? That also, so I'm not an expert, I'm not a general, but that seems so unprofessional. Like your entire army takes one road. Like it's so predictable, man. They totally know where you're coming from. It's totally normal to be afraid of nuclear war. Nuclear war should never ever happen. It's ridiculous. But being that afraid of nuclear war that you let an evil person like Putin do what he wants because you're so fucking afraid seems ridiculous. Just give up, Ukraine, man. We don't want nuclear war. Just give up, man. You're a Russian troll bot or you're an idiot, man. Just because there's nukes on this planet, he can just do what he wants. It's always a very sensitive topic, man, but you shouldn't be fucking frozen by fear because then evil can do what it wants. Number one, Patton Oswalt, man, has said 10 years ago, man, I'll never forget that, evil wins when good looks away. That always stuck with me in my brain, man. I think Iraq is you're comparing apples with peaches. Like, for example, when you say Iraq, the situation of Iraq, which wasn't good, obviously, is so different from Ukraine and Russia. You can't compare the two. That's same with Syria. You can't compare that. The West has to be massively criticized, especially, you say, for what they're doing. But how can you compare that, man? In Iraq, you have Saddam Hussein invading Kuwait, man, which is kind of like, oh, okay, we can kind of go for this guy. And Ukraine didn't do jack fucking shit, man. Also, guys, when our side does it, it's okay. It's our side. Come on, guys. But let's not go there. I think you guys are too dumb to discuss stuff like that. Let's not do that. Triggered. What's up, little boy? You triggered? Do you think NATO is understand right? Very obviously, dude. There's no question. There's no opinion. Obviously, the whole world is fucked. The West is evil. The East is evil. Everyone is evil. USA does evil things. Germany does evil things. Putin does evil things. That is the truth. There's no opinion there. Everyone is a fuck. But you don't go too far. You don't invade a fucking country without any fucking reason, and then you're like, oh, I'm losing. I'm putting my nuclear power divisions into high alert. That's going a little bit too far, man. That's just a little bit too much. Just do the basic grind that everyone does of just being normal evil without anyone realizing. Like everyone does. That's normal on the world. Even Orban is silent and close to you. Yeah, even Orban. But imagine even Orban is against you, man. You're kind of fucked up, man. And what a pussy Lukashenko is, right? That little dog. That little bitch. Yeah, Putin, what can I do, Putin, for you?